If this village disappears tomorrow, you won't even get your breakfast. You know why? Before the day even begins, the food supply chain collapses. Markets run dry. Prices explode. Daily life freezes. Sound impossible, right? And you know the most interesting part? This village has no factories, no big companies, no billionaires. Yet somehow, it controls everything you use. And here's the crazy part. Most people think money runs the world. But in this village, money is useless without four invisible forces. Miss even one, and the entire system collapses. In the next 10 minutes, you'll discover why farmers are powerful but still poor, why machines can make you rich or jobless, and why a tiny village explains the economy of the whole world. Welcome to the story of Village Palampur. This is Palampur, a small village, connected by roads, powered by electricity, surrounded by farms. Looks simple, but hidden inside this village is the entire economic system of the world. Everything you use, food, clothes, books, paper, milk, even electricity, starts from places like this. So to understand how the world economy works, we start here. And what happens inside Palampur? Let's start simple. What is production? Production means creating something useful. When a farmer grows wheat, when a carpenter makes furniture, when a factory makes clothes. But here's the part most people miss. Production is not just about making things. It is about converting nature into survival. No production means no food, no clothes, no shelter, no life as we know it. So the real power of the world is not money. It is production. Now here comes the part that silently controls everything. To produce anything, for invisible forces must work together. Miss even one, production collapses. First, the land, not just fields, everything nature gives us. Soil, water, forests, minerals. No land means no crops, no water, and no farming. Straight up. Now here's where things get interesting. Land has a limit. We don't. Every year, population increases. More human beings bring more demand. But land remains as same size, same area, and same boundaries. Which means farmers are forced to do something risky. Produce more from land that can't expand. And this single pressure silently decides the future of farming after land. Second, we have the labors. Because land on its own does nothing. Fields don't grow food by themselves. Roads don't move goods by themselves. Someone has to show up, who can work, think, and decide. That effort is labor, be it the farmers in the fields or workers in factories, and even the shopkeepers opening shutters every morning. Just remove labor, and everything freezes. Third, the physical capital. Human effort has limits. One person can only work up to a certain limit, and that's exactly where machines enter the picture. A single tractor replaces dozens of hands. One pump replaces hours of manual work. Pair up machines with a person. Suddenly, the same person produces 10 times more. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Machines don't just increase production. They quietly decide who moves ahead and who gets left behind. Now comes the most underestimated force of all. Fourth, the human capital. Two farmers, same land, and same machines. One understands soil, seasons, and markets. The other doesn't. The result? Completely different outcomes. Because knowledge, health, and skill can change everything. This is human capital, and it's dangerous powerful. The strongest machine on Earth isn't made of steel. It's the human brain. Put all this together. Land, effort, machines, and intelligence. And you get something massive. The engine that runs every economy on Earth. Let's dive a little deeper into the farming economy of the village. Land in Palampur is limited, but production keeps increasing. So the question is simple. How are farmers doing this? The first method is multiple cropping. Farmers don't use their land just once a year. They grow wheat, jowar, potatoes, even sugarcane on the same land at different times. The land stays the same, but output increases. More crops mean more food and higher income. The second reason is the use of modern farming methods. Over time, technology entered agriculture. High-yielding variety seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, tube well irrigation, tractors, and harvesters all help farmers produce more from the same fields. The impact of this change was huge. Agricultural production increased rapidly. India, which once faced food shortages, began producing surplus food. This transformation in farming is a major reason why India was able to overcome hunger. But, as the saying goes, behind every shining light there is a shadow. This rise in production also revealed a darker side of modern farming. To produce more and more crops, farmers started depending heavily on chemical fertilizers and pesticides. In the beginning, the results looked impressive: higher yields, better income, faster growth. But over time, the damage became visible. The soil began to lose its natural strength. Water sources near farms started getting polluted. The land that once produced crops easily now required larger amounts of chemicals just to give the same output. This is the real problem. What looked like progress in the short term slowly turned into a risk for the future. Production increased, but the health of the land declined. And when the land is damaged, farming itself comes under threat. So Palampur shows us a hard truth of economics. Growth without sustainability may increase output today, but it can quietly destroy the future. Now comes the reality check. Not all farmers in any village live the same life. Some own large areas of land, while others own very little or none at all. This single difference changes everything. Farmers with large landholdings can afford machines, store their crops, and wait for better prices. They invest more, produce more, and earn steady profits. Farming works for them as a business. But small farmers live in a completely different situation. Their land is limited, their savings are low, and buying machines is often impossible. To manage even basic farming expenses, many are forced to borrow money. This is where the risk begins. One failed crop, one bad monsoon, or one sudden expense can push them into debt. Once trapped, it becomes very difficult to escape. They continue working harder each season, but their income remains uncertain. And this creates a painful contradiction. Farmers are the backbone of the nation's food supply, yet many of them struggle to secure a stable life for themselves. They feed the country, but often find it hardest to feed their own families. Palampur is not a real village on the map. It is a model, a reference village created to help us understand how an economy actually works. By observing what happens inside Palampur, we can clearly see how production takes place and how land, labor, machines, and knowledge come together to support everyday life. This is why Palampur matters. It simplifies the entire economic system and places it in front of us in its most basic form. When you understand Palampur, you understand the foundations of economics itself. Ignore what Palampur teaches and the system breaks down. Production falls, inequality rises, and survival becomes uncertain. A tiny village, used as a reference, explaining how billions of people across the world manage to live, work, and survive. This was the story of the village Palampur. Understand Palampur, and you understand economics in the most simple way. If this video made economics finally click for you, don't let it stop with you. Like this video, subscribe, and share this in your school groups. Not for me, for the one friend who's still confused and pretending they understand economics. One share can save hours of stress. One subscribe keeps this clarity coming.